Welcome back to BikeBeat. Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about mid-size sport bikes of the year, the 2026 CFMoto 450SR. This bike is aiming right at the heart of the twin-cylinder sports segment, promising premium features, striking design, and thrilling performance, all at a price that undercuts the competition. But can it really deliver everything it claims? Let's find out. The first thing that grabs your attention about the 450SR is how it looks. CFMoto has gone for a proper supersport design, low, sharp, and aggressive. The fairing angles are razor precise, the LED headlights give it a mean, futuristic face, and the aerodynamic winglets up front don't just look good, they're functional. Even standing still, this bike looks like it's slicing through the air. The proportions are tight, the tail is short, and the stance is pure race DNA. The paint finish, fit, and panel quality have taken a real step up compared to older CFMoto models. You can tell the brand is pushing hard to be seen as a serious global player now. Beneath that sleek bodywork sits a 449.5 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine with a 270-degree crank. That setup gives it the pulse and character of a V-twin while maintaining the smoothness of a parallel configuration. It pushes out about 51 horsepower at 9,500 revolutions per minute and 40 Nm of torque at 7,750 revolutions per minute. Those are solid numbers for a middleweight sport bike, but what matters more is how it feels, and that's where this engine really shines. The torque comes in early and stays with you across the rev range. It's responsive in the mid-range, perfect for street riding, and it still has enough pull at the top end to keep things exciting on the highway. The 450SR uses a 6-speed gearbox paired with a slipper clutch, which helps smooth out aggressive downshifts and keeps the rear wheel planted during hard braking. Shifts are crisp, and the clutch lever has a light feel that makes city traffic a lot easier to handle. The fueling and throttle mapping are refined, there's no jerky low-speed behavior, and power delivery feels predictable, which builds confidence for new riders and rewards experienced ones. The chassis setup complements that engine perfectly. It's built around a steel trellis frame that strikes a balance between rigidity and feedback. Up front, you get inverted USD forks, and at the back, there's a preload adjustable monoshock. The suspension tuning feels spot on for mixed use, stiff enough for spirited cornering but not harsh on uneven roads. It feels composed and controlled when leaned over, with the kind of stability that gives you the confidence to push harder each ride. Braking performance is another highlight. The front brake features a Brembo caliper setup, something you rarely see in this price range. It delivers excellent bite and feedback through the lever. The rear brake complements it well, and dual-channel ABS comes standard for added safety. The combination gives the 450SR real braking authority, whether you're commuting or carving corners. On the scales, it's roughly in line with rivals like the Ninja 500 and CBR 500R, though it manages to feel lighter when you're on it. The steering is quick but not twitchy, and the center of gravity feels well balanced. Through fast transitions, the bike responds immediately but maintains a planted feel, the kind of balance that's tricky to achieve at this level. The cockpit is where CFMoto shows how much the brand has matured. The bike features a bright full-color TFT display with Bluetooth connectivity, smartphone pairing, and clear, readable graphics. You get all the essentials: gear indicator, fuel range, trip info, and even notifications if your phone is connected. The layout is modern, clean, and easy to use. The switchgear feels solid and tactile, again a big improvement over earlier CFMoto models. Everything from the levers to the handlebar grips has that slightly more premium touch. Ergonomically, the 450SR finds a comfortable middle ground. The clip-ons are slightly lower than a naked bike but higher than a full supersport, meaning you lean forward just enough to feel aggressive without straining your wrists. The foot pegs are rear set, giving you that athletic riding triangle, but still comfortable for long commutes or weekend rides. Riders of average height will find it natural and confidence-inspiring, and even shorter riders won't have trouble getting both feet close to the ground. In real-world riding, the bike feels surprisingly versatile. Around town, it's light and manageable, with smooth throttle response and easy clutch control. On twisty roads, it transforms, eager to dive into corners, stable mid-turn, and quick to exit with that torquey twin drive. The suspension holds up well under braking and acceleration, and it feels like it's been tuned with care, not just for specs. On the highway, wind protection from the fairing works impressively well. You can cruise comfortably at speed without feeling battered by turbulence. The fairing channels air neatly, and the aerodynamics feel genuinely functional rather than decorative. As for fuel efficiency, CFMoto hasn't released official numbers everywhere yet, but you can expect around 22 to 25 kilometers per liter depending on how aggressively you ride. For a twin-cylinder sport bike with this kind of performance, that's quite respectable. Now let's talk about pricing, because that's where CFMoto tends to shake things up. The 2026 450SR is expected to fall somewhere between $6,500 and $8,500 depending on your market and taxes. That places it below some Japanese competitors while offering more premium components and similar performance. It's a strategy that's worked well for CFMoto, deliver high-end features at a price that makes riders do a double take. When you compare it to the Ninja 500, the CBR 500R, or even KTM's RC 390, it stacks up impressively well. The Ninja might still win on brand trust, but the CFMoto wins big on component quality and styling. And let's be honest, it looks like a mini superbike. That alone will draw a lot of attention from younger riders and enthusiasts who want superbike looks without superbike insurance or price tags. CFMoto's quality control has come a long way too. The paintwork, welds, plastics, and hardware all feel more refined. It's clear they've been listening to rider feedback and benchmarking against established brands. Reliability and long-term durability will still need to be proven, but everything about the 450SR suggests that CFMoto is serious about earning trust, not just hype. On the downside, parts availability and dealer coverage can still vary depending on your region, and some riders might hesitate because the brand doesn't yet have the long reliability track record of Kawasaki or Honda. But given how quickly CFMoto is expanding and improving, that gap is closing fast. The riding experience, though, that's where it wins hearts. It's a machine that makes you want to keep riding. It's approachable for beginners yet exciting enough for experienced riders who want something nimble, affordable, and stylish. The sound from that 270 degrees twin is rich and throaty, with just enough growl to make every throttle twist satisfying. It's the kind of bike that delivers fun at realistic speeds, and that's exactly what makes a great everyday sport bike. When you step back and look at the big picture, the 2026 CFMoto 450SR isn't trying to be a copy of anyone else. It's carving its own path, stylish, modern, and packed with real performance for the price. It's proof that CFMoto isn't just the new kid anymore, they're here to challenge the segment seriously. So, who's this bike for? It's for riders who want to step up from a 300 without breaking the bank. It's for commuters who want excitement on the ride home. It's for weekend warriors who want a bike that looks like a supersport but doesn't demand a racer's body position. And it's for anyone who believes that great design and engineering shouldn't come with a painful price tag. That's the 2026 CFMoto 450SR, a bike that brings real performance, style, and value together in a way that just a few years ago would have seemed impossible. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more reviews and ride tests. You're watching BikeBeat, where passion meets performance.